Good morning, Group 202. This is our final weekly feedback video. Today I'm going to talk about some exercises that we had from pages 90 through 93 and 94 through 97 of the American Headway textbook. So I'm going to start with some of the exercises on pages 90 through 93. So one of the concepts that we saw on these pages was the present perfect. And again, we just need to mention that the present perfect is used to express experiences, in this case, and in the exercises on these pages. So, for example, they say, I have been to Mexico City. That's an experience that you have had. So since it's in the present perfect, you have completed that, we should say, or you've had it, like I said. Another example, have you ever been to Mexico City? It's asking someone else if they have had that opportunity or have had that experience. And typically the form of the present perfect, just for review, it's have or has plus the past participle of the verb that you're using. So it's always the same format. It's has or have, depending on your subject, and then past participle of the verb. So it's really that simple. Now, the simple past, another concept that we saw on these pages of the workbook, is that it's used to express experiences or exactly when something happened. So for example, I went to Mexico City last year. I had that experience, and I'm telling you that when it happened was last year, so it happened at that time. When did you go to Sydney? Since this one is asking a question, I don't know when that experience happened. I just know that the person I'm asking went to Sydney. So I'm asking him then, when? So I'm asking for that part of the simple past. Okay? So now let's talk about ever versus never. We use ever when asking questions. Has he ever been to Rio de Janeiro? So we don't know if it happened or not. That's why we use ever. We use never when stating whether or not something has happened. He's never been to Korea. So we know for a fact that he has not been there. That's how we can say never. Otherwise, we have to use ever. We have to ask because we don't know if it's true or not. All right. So we use yet to express whether or not something has happened up to this point in time. So they haven't finished packing yet. They're still in the process of packing. Or you could say, have you emailed your aunt yet? So it's something that you ask the person to do, and you're asking them if they've done it up to this point in time. They still might be planning on doing it, but probably not. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to the exercises that appeared on pages 94 through 97 of the American Headway textbook. Specifically, I'm going to start with exercise 3 on page 94. So they ask us, where and when does Glastonbury take place? Again, Glastonbury is that music festival that you read about in the textbook, depending on your version, but it should be that. So the answer to that question then is farmland in the southwest of England in the month of June. And all these answers are based on the reading. These are comprehension questions. Okay? Second question they ask us is, how many hours of music are there every day? Well, the answer based on the reading, there are 15 hours of music each day. And I arrived at that number by taking the starting point and ending point and just adding them up. That gives me a total of 15. Because they give us the time of the day that it starts and ends. Okay, the next question. What are some differences between Glastonbury in 1970 and today? In 1970, 1,500 people attended and paid $1.70 per ticket, whereas today, or the recent festival, had 190,000 attendees and they paid $340 per ticket. So quite a big difference there. Next question, who do you know from the list of performers and who do you like? Since this question is subjective, it's not based on the reading, we're going to skip it. We're going to move on to the next question. What happened in 2009? Well, Michael Jackson died during the festival and they began selling shirts with the slogan, I was at Glastonbury when Michael Jackson died. Again, that's based on the reading, so that is what you should have put down for the answer to that question. The next one is asking us, what happened in 2005? Why is the song They Can't Buy the Sunshine a good song for the festival? It's a good song because it rained every day in 2005 during the festival, and the festival goers danced in the mud, which is why that's an appropriate song. Okay, now I'm going to move to exercises 4 and 5 on page 95 of your book. First, exercise 4. Who has been there often? So we have to put the name of the person next to or as the answer to these questions based on the little biography of each person. Okay, so who has been there often? And that answer would be Marina M. Who has been there only once? Dave Chow. Which people loved it all? That would be Marina M., Len Ferris, and Izzy. Who had one complaint and what about? Dave Chow had the complaint, and he complained that there were too many cell phones and no way to get away from it all. He wanted to have an experience detached from technology to enjoy the festival in the countryside, so that's why he was complaining about the number of cell phones there. Who took his child? Len Ferris took his child. Who traveled a long way to get there? Izzy did. And now exercise 5, here are the answers. The first one was false, the second one was true, the third one was true, the fourth one was false, the fifth one was true, the sixth one was false, seventh one was false, and the eighth and final one was also false. Okay, next I'm going to talk about exercise 4 on page 96 of your textbook. So take is when you go for something or a period of time, and get is when you obtain something or become something. So with those definitions in mind, let's try to complete the exercise. The answer to the first one should have been, I usually take a coffee break at around 10 in the morning. And the answer to the second one is, how long does it take if you go by train? The third one, could you please take a picture of us? Sue has taken her driving test 3 times and she's failed every time. Are you still getting ready? We're going to be so late. The doctor told me to take it easy if I want to get better soon. It rained on the day we got married. We got very wet but still had a great day. You can't get on the bus with that big dog. Please get off. Exercise 4 now on page 97. The number 360 stops near the museum. That would be more appropriate for a bus. Since buses typically have numbers, and since it's a museum, we know it's on a street, so it's not going to be a plane or a train, it's more likely to be a bus. So bus would be the right one for that. Next one, the track number just went up on the departures board. Track, so we know trains run on tracks, so for that one, train is the appropriate answer. The next one, does the number 24 go to the Natural History Museum? Like in number 1, anything where they're talking about numbers and museums, since those are on streets, that's more appropriate for a bus. So we should have put down bus for that one. How many carry-on bags do you have? So carry-on bags, your luggage. When you go on vacation, you take bags. And when you go on vacations, you go typically via plane. So that's why for that one, plane would be the most appropriate answer, based on the fact that they have bags. You board from gate 9 at 10:20. Also at airports, which has to do with planes, we have gates and boarding times. So that's why for that one, the best answer is plane. And for the last one, you'll want the same day round trip. Now, in many countries in Europe and countries like Japan as well, they have a very advanced train system. So if you want a same day round trip, you could say plane, but more often than not, this one would be more appropriate for a train. Okay? So those are what I believe to be the key points from the activities for the week. So that will be it for our video today. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, good luck on the final for those that are taking it. And please, like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Have a nice day.